That's clear. Thank you, Dr. Mahmoud.
That's
We did
clear,
it.
yeah.
Thank you.
So again, the students agree with the feedback and they reflect on it. So they just don't accept it, because I asked them to think critically about ChatGPT's feedback. And here, yeah.
Dr. Farag, it's clear, yes, please. You may carry. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So here, with another group, ChatGPT gave them his feedback on clarity and precision, and giving them suggestions as well. And here, excuse me.
Yes, please, Dr. Farag.
Sorry, am I okay?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. Right. So again, the students here agreed on ChatGPT's feedback, and they said they conceded it that okay, my statement was a bit too assertive. So they are thinking or considering of refining their statement later on. Here we have another feedback from ChatGPT, and students this time are not happy with it. So they feel, okay, this is just an addition of unnecessary details, and conclusion of an essay has to be concise and straightforward. Here, with group 6, it seems like they have their own style reflecting on ChatGPT's feedback. So they said, okay, this machine has edited our work. And of course, it made it better. But they said, okay, we could have done it ourselves anyway. So these kind of adjustments or grammar mistakes, we could have done it on our own if we had enough time and we were not that anxious. So, okay, I'm just running out a bit late, so one more minute. So here, these are the recommendation of this small research. So it's very important that we are now at the age of technology. So it's very important that we orientate our students, raise their awareness of using technology in general and ChatGPT in particular. And again, as Professor Halim has mentioned earlier, this has to be in an ethical way, right? Finally, it's very important to integrate ChatGPT judiciously in EFL writing, because if we do this, we're going to overcome the obstacles and challenges. And finally, these are the references. And thank you very much. I think, am I on time?
Thank you so much, Dr. Mahmoud Farag.
Thank you very much.
Insightful look at integrating ChatGPT to transform EFL student academic content. It was very interesting. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Professor Touria Drid. She is a lecturer at Fatima University, Wargla, Algeria.
Sorry, the voice is not stable.
Sorry?
Sorry, the voice is not stable. I can't hear you well.
I said thank you so much, Dr. Farag.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm presenting the next speaker. Yeah. So I said Professor Touria Drid is a lecturer at Fatima University, Wargla, Algeria. She is a specialist in linguistics. She has many publications. One of them is thematic progression in online Algerian newspaper articles, insights to producing coherent texts. She has published 3 books. One of them is Teaching Academic Writing as a Discipline Specific skill in higher education. Her last published book in 2024 is entitled A Course in Applied Linguistics. She has participated in many national and international conferences. She was a conference chair of an international conference on applied linguistics in 2021. Professor Touria Drid, the floor is yours.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. I hope you can hear me. I want to check whether you can hear me clearly. Can you hear me clearly, please?
Yes, we can hear you, Professor.
Yeah.
So good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening. It is my pleasure to be among you today and to meet our colleagues from various universities. First of all, I would like to thank the conference organizers, particularly Dr. Yahia Fatima, and also I shouldn't forget to greet my ex-students, Ismail, Haj Mohammed Ismail. So it's really a pleasure to meet you again. That's really a good chance for us to contribute to this academic event on the use of technology, digital technologies in enhancing culture teaching or teaching of culture. Well, without delay, I move on to talk about the paper that I will be presenting today, which is titled Bridging Cultures Through Screens, Digital Pathways to Cultural Competence in EFL. This is like an overview of the diverse pathways that can be exploited by the EFL teacher in order to arrive at the core goal of language teaching, which is increasing or enhancing cultural competence. Yeah. Can you see my slides? Yeah. Can you see my slides, please?
Yeah, the first one. We can see the first one. The first slide.
Yes, we can see the first slide, Professor.
Yeah, on my computer, right, okay. So I'm trying to move to the second slide. Yes.
Not yet. Not yet.
That's my second slide. Can you follow with me?
Yes.
No, we cannot. We can see just the first slide. We cannot see the second. It is still the first slide.
I will quit the slideshow mode and return. Right. I guess this would be better.
Yeah, that's the best solution.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now we can see the second slide.
Thank you very much. So the first thing that we should highlight here is the cultural competence and its place in the foreign language classroom. Cultural competence, a competence involving the attitudes and the insights necessary to survive in a culturally variegated world, is seen as a continuous journey towards understanding and adapting to the other. Though considered the cornerstone now of the modern EFL curricula, it remains a challenging teaching task. Alongside the importance of enhancing cultural competence, the sophisticated digital communication tools and the rise of these tools has greatly expanded the ways that educators can support learners in building cultural skills. With these technological advances, the avenues that we have now to foster intercultural understanding in teaching English as a foreign language have grown significantly. In this paper, I aim at examining how the digital resources can serve as pathways to cultural learning in EFL contexts. I will try to overview the accessible digital sources that can be exploited to enhance cultural competence for EFL learners. And at last, in the paper, I will try to outline some practical classroom strategies for EFL teachers to integrate these resources effectively, offering the students better insights into cultural context and real-world language use. As you see in this scheme or diagram, the digital sources are multiple and diverse. All these can be exploited by the teacher in enhancing the cultural competence among the learners. I will take them one by one. I will take these examples one by one to show how these can be used successfully by the EFL teacher in enhancing this type of competence, which cannot be neglected alongside the linguistic skills. The first pathway is the social media, as has been explained in the previous very interesting presentations by our colleagues. In fact, social media platforms like Instagram or TikTok or Twitter are rich with the user-generated content. And this reflects diverse lifestyles, attitudes, and perspectives across cultures. And the EFL learners can follow influencers, the brands, the educational pages from English-speaking countries to understand the current trends, even the humor and youth culture, among others. Also, following the popular influencers or engaging in trending hashtags on Instagram or on TikTok introduces learners to cultural memes, slang, and popular idioms, deepening their cultural literacy. Another pathway that can be resorted to by the EFL teacher is the video platforms. Video platforms are diverse, most significantly the YouTube and the Vimeo. These platforms provide a wealth of authentic content, including daily life vlogs, local news, documentaries, and interviews with the native speakers. Here, authenticity is very important in teaching culture. They expose EFL learners to colloquial language, here taking the linguistic side, non-verbal communication styles, taking here the cultural side, and social norms in real life settings. If we take, for instance, the case of watching travel vlogs from native speakers, this can provide opportunities for the learners to view different cultures, dialects, and social customs in various contexts, authentic contexts. They can learn about how to do things with the words, the greetings, gestures, the dress codes, and so on. In fact, the educators can use specific channels or videos to introduce the targeted cultural themes, such as festivals or holidays or any aspect of everyday routines. Yeah. Taking now another pathway that can be, let's say, used in the EFL classroom to enhance cultural competence, it is virtual reality and augmented reality. Though this seems to be at first sight hard to achieve or a tool that's not practically, let's say, accessible, especially in underdeveloped settings. But this does not stop us from thinking about the possibility of exploiting it in our classrooms. Both virtual reality and augmented reality experiences can create immersive cultural experiences by virtually transporting the learners to different geographical places and social environments. In fact, this immersion, this kind of digital immersion, helps learners explore cultural spaces while they are just in the classroom. They can explore traditions, the settings, and they may otherwise not be able to encounter in person. In this context, the context of virtual reality and augmented reality, there are apps that can be used, like Google Expeditions or Engage VR, All these allow the students to visit historical sites virtually, to attend festivals, and to live certain culture, let's say, events in the virtual world. Moving now to another pathway, which is the online news outlets and the media sources. Yeah. These are very rich sources for the EFL teacher. For example, reading articles and watching reports from international outlets may provide the insights into the social issues, politics, and cultural attitudes in the English-speaking countries. And such resources offer a more sophisticated understanding of the values, the conflicts, and even the historical contexts which influence culture. The teachers can use this sort or this pathway by, for example, assigning articles on current events and then undertaking a kind of discussion around the social issues surrounding them. As I said, the pathways are multiple, and other pathways encompass language exchange platforms. These are apps. They are applications like Tandem or HelloTalk, which are interactive in nature. They are interactive in nature in the sense that the language learner can interact directly with the native speakers. And this allows for authentic intercultural dialogues. The partners, the online partners, especially the native speakers, may discuss cultural traditions, holidays, personal stories, and this may enhance, in fact, the learner's understanding of the cultural context and conversational conventions. The teachers can encourage the students to here, this is like as a tip, a technique, a classroom technique. They can encourage them to ask about the specific cultural practices, and this would permit the learners to get them directly from the native speakers and have, in fact, this can be considered as a window on the other's culture. Now moving to another let's say channel, which is the documentaries and the streaming services, like the use of Netflix, the Amazon or Prime. These are just examples of these streaming services. These have the merit of providing, they have the merit of providing visual and at the same time contextual representations of culture, representations of language, and representations of the societal values, often addressing like issues like, in fact, the merit, the real merit is that they are more engaging because they appear in a narrative form. Here, watching this kind of culturally rich films or documentaries offers the learners like perspectives on the global issues, the regional cuisines, and so on. In addition to all those multiple pathways that I have presented, also there are virtual exchange and the collaborative platforms. For example, the ePulse and Flipgrid. Here, these virtual exchange platforms may connect the classrooms around the world. They connect the classrooms around the world. In fact, what happens is that the learners in a given classroom can connect to other learners elsewhere and have shared projects. They interact directly with the peers from different cultural backgrounds, and these exchanges can be structured around some well-defined projects, storytelling, or some discussions on precise themes. The use of, for instance, EPUBs here can put the students from different countries in an environment of conversation where they can share their insights and their cultural views. This kind of peer interaction can develop in the intercultural understanding of the others, and it allows the learners to reflect and to discuss even their own norms in a global, in a wider context. Yeah. A further channel or pathway is the educational and podcasts, and also the audiobooks through the listening mode, like Audible or Spotify. Podcasts, in fact, often cover a wide array of cultural topics. And when the learner listens to the native speakers in these podcasts on culture or history or society, this would lead them to increase their cultural ability to, live the lives of the others, or see the lives of the others, or understand the lives of the others in a better way, and hence the cultural awareness will increase. The EFL learners can listen to the podcast. The podcast will feature the personal stories, and it will present perspectives that reflect diverse cultural experiences. Audiobooks as well of culturally significant novels can also immerse. Here, immersion is very important in the teaching of culture. This would immerse the learners in the values, the idioms, and even the humor of the English-speaking communities. Yeah. Coming now to another channel, which is gaming and interactive platforms. And this depends, of course, on the age of the learners. I am presenting diverse channels, diverse pathways, but it is the task of the teacher to adapt them according to different factors. And as our colleague, Professor Halima has highlighted, learner differences here should be considered so that the teaching materials are adapted successfully to a given type of learners. So I come to gaming and interactive platforms. These digital games with cultural themes or language-based challenges provide the learners with an engaging and low-stress way to practice language and the cultural skills. Well, the students, for example, can build or explore some sites like, say, the Great Wall of China, or the Roman Colosseum, or Maqam al-Shahid, or the Algerian, let's say, desert, while learning about history and architecture and several other aspects or artifacts of the culture. Here, the task of the teacher is to create the themed quiz around what the learner does, or around the game. For example, if Kahoot is used here, this may reinforce the cultural knowledge, and at the same time it may enhance vocabulary and linguistic skills in general. Now, coming now to recapitulate and to comment on to what extent the teacher can use all of this. Well, we should not ignore the role and the possibility of using the digital technology in fostering cultural competence. This has become vital. It has become vital. We have to, in fact, we have explained how, the importance of such tools. However, if we want to realize, in fact, if we want to realize the full potential of such tools, of technology tools, this requires a creative approach. It requires a creative approach that exploits the unique affordances of each tool, so that the teacher can provide a more meaningful and more engaging intercultural learning experiences for the learner. So in order to achieve that, the educators must think beyond the traditional methods. And this is the real challenge, in fact, to engage the students in real-world cultural interactions. This creative integration of technology enhances, on the one hand, it enhances language acquisition, and on the other hand, it equips the learners with the critical cultural insights needed to explore the diverse global contexts. In addition, the success of these initiatives builds on the development and the upgrading of the classroom infrastructure. And this poses problems in many teaching or instructional contexts. Here, there should be some investment in reliable internet access, for example, in providing the digital devices in the classroom, in also in teacher training, as has been explained by our colleagues in their insightful presentations. All these, in fact, are crucial to ensuring that these technological resources are accessible to everyone. And I believe that without these foundational elements, the promise of digital pathways, as I have called them in this presentation, to cultural competence may remain unachieved, particularly in under-resourced settings. So in conclusion, I emphasize or highlight the idea that bridging cultures through screens requires a double commitment. First, to the innovative use of technology in designing culturally EFL learning experiences. And second, to the development of strong infrastructures, and this is very important, that support such advancements. Now, by addressing these needs, educators and institutions, I believe, can ensure that their students are not just competent users of the global language, which is English, but also they can become culturally aware global citizens ready to prosper and develop in an interconnected and variegated world. That was my presentation. Here are the references, and thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Professor Touria Drid from University of Casdi Melbah, Algeria. Bridging cultures through screens is a needed issue now, especially with the development of AI tools. And you have explained in details, and you have other recommendations, among them trainee teachers in this field. So in order to be the updates of digital technologies development. Thank you very much, Professor Touria Drid. Now we are going to move to the last presentation. Professor Touria, could you stop sharing your screen? So now we move to the last presentation from Indonesia for Professor Gamawan Jati. He has sent us his recorded presentation. Professor Gamawan Jati, hello, you are with us?
Yeah, hello, but my bandwidth is not very good. I'm now in Bangkok, staying in a hotel, and my connection is not great. So I think it's better if you play my recording, and then we can do question and answer live. Thank you.
Exactly. So we have chosen to let your presentation till you will be with us in order to give you a chance to see your presentation virtually. So first of all, I am going to present our Dr. Gamawan Jati. He is a technology-enhanced language learning expert with over 30 years of experience. He has significantly influenced English education in Indonesia. Gamawan Jati is the president of the Indonesia Technology Enhanced Language Learning Association, where he champions technology integration in education. He collaborates with organizations like the British Council Indonesia to deliver impactful teacher training programs. Among his publications and his continuous publication, we have supported teachers' competence in designing learning activities to facilitate students' engagement in online environment. Dr. Gamawan Jati is an active trainer, moving many world countries to train teachers and learners in the field of AI tools. So I am going now to present his recorded video.
Hello everyone, my name is Gamawan Jati from Indonesia.